But also over the weekend, I caught up to Cyberpunk Edgerunner. You know, I should probably tweet about that, do some small review stuff. But man, that show, it was good. It was very good. But I wouldn't say that it's like the best show that Cyberpunk Edgerunner. I would say it's a show that was good. It was okay, right? But I wouldn't say in a sense that something special or anything like that, right? It's like it did what it needed to do and did the things right that it needed to get done, right? Because let's be real, and a lot of it, the show did what it set out to do, right? Like essentially, you know, the main point is they essentially, well, retold the story how how the world is, how Night City is, right? Like essentially, Night City is you know it is a city where legends are made and also legends get taken down. So essentially, they stay true to everything, that was told out, right? Like, you don't live as a hero, you die as a legend, right? Not really hero, but more like, you don't live as a legend, you more like die as a legend, right? And I would say also overall, like the characters were good. I mean, sure, 10 episodes is not the best to characterize every single character. Like, for instance, um, going spoilers and all, so it's like, if you haven't watched it, you should definitely give it a watch if you want to see some trigger masterpiece artwork and art style, and I guess in general, and I would say another banger from Studio Trigger, who made another big one, another big hit into I guess the anime world plot, but also Netflix hit because you see Cyberpunk pop up, um, you know, popping up the numbers with players coming on, playing the games, and seeing how it after the update was 1.6, you know, people definitely went into Night City and started the playthrough, either the first playthrough or like the third or fourth. Like, yeah, I mean, Night City is something else. I mean, we know how the story went, right? So, like, you don't live as a legend, you die as a legend. So, as we all know, how trigger works, right? Or in general, how Cyberpunk works is, you know, either or main character dies, but the main heroine stays alive, and well, it's a bittersweet ending, right? Like the heroine lives on to, I guess, to get her dream fulfilled after the main protagonist sacrificed himself to give Lucy a chance at life. I guess her dream, right? To get out of the city, get out of Night City, and also I guess go to the moon. What she set out to do, even though without David, and you know it worked out in the end the best it could, right? And hopefully, we get more of the cyberpunk world. Like I enjoyed Rebecca or Becca, right? I enjoyed her character a lot. In my opinion, like when I went into the show, I was like, yeah, Rebecca is gonna be, gonna be like, like a side character. She's gonna be cool. She's gonna be quirky and fun, right? And then you have Lucy, and Lucy is like, yeah, she looks amazing, right? Her design and everything, like, it just works for me. Like, it's just perfect. And also, if you watch the sub, you definitely know the voice actor, and that is the Aoi Yuki, or Yuki Aoi. And, yeah, I mean, she's always great. I mean, she always voice acts like amazing voice, amazing character. So, Lucy, I guess, being the voice for that, it's pretty good. And also, the feeling. I still have to watch it in dub again. I'm gonna watch it twice. Okay, I'm gonna watch it. I watched it sub. I'm gonna rewatch it in dub. Probably, you know, probably the I guess next few days or week, depending on how much time I have. And also, talking about more about the anime, it's essentially, you know, like mine and Norio. Like they were like, you could say mine was like the big brother or father figure in the whole group, essentially being the boss and essentially being a, you could say a leader, and you know mentor to David and the whole group also whole, right? But as we know, David came from the streets after his mother died in a car crash. So essentially, seeing all that happen in the span of like a day, that's like insane. And then kind of getting into all the trouble. Well, not really trouble. Well, kind of in trouble actually. With the class. Who essentially the people like looking down on him. So essentially that guy, I guess with the son of the big corporal leader or chef, chief in Arasaka. So now he had that, and then also he also got some implants from her mother before she passed away. So that's like something big, right? It's like seeing all that happen in the span a few days essentially as well. Then him getting new implants, starting a ramp up. I guess with gadgets and implants, so he essentially can take on most of the people. Well, in the sense that he can make a name for himself, and also get the money that he needs, and also the fact that him go somewhere, right? Go to the top and show that he is there, he's special in that, right? Which is also at the end his downfall, right? Essentially, well, he met his end. And let's talk about the character like Becca. I talked about it, right? Lucy, I like Lucy a lot. I like character, everything, like design, fantastic, right? She's the main heroine for David. And also, as we know, they were in the end, they were a couple and all, and as it all goes, right? At the end, they needed to split apart and let her live. But also, Becca is another big impact on David. Essentially, not really the impact that he would see, but more like like a support for him, and also the fact that she also loved him in a way, right? After her brother also got a straight knocked out. Not really knocked, more like iced by another cyber psycho. With I guess cyber psycho, someone who essentially went crazy with implants and succumbed to I guess to all kinds of problems, where it's like essentially turned crazy, and it's like an addiction on cyberware and all, and they went mad, and well, he got iced. It just happened, right? That's how cyber works out. It just you just get iced, all right. The music doesn't help that it's I'm talking about people getting iced and straight up killed in a matter of split seconds. Like it just happens randomly, right? And also the fact that how this world is, right? Like it just happens. Essentially, everything went downhill from there. It's like main or mine went also what goes crazy because of all its implants. It's like a big boy who came, I guess, was like more like a runner, and then the more and more parts he implanted on himself, built in and all, he went mad and crazy, and started to go rogue on his own people, but also go crazy on other people as well, which in Universally at the end, well, was also his demise, where, well, Max Tech came in and straight up, well, he really nuked everything apart, right? He just killed everything in his room, like, everything turned to ashes, and, yeah, well, that's how it goes in the world of Cyberpunk, right? And also, David at the end, years, I guess, I don't know, either weeks went by or months went by, and, he made a name for himself. He got so many implants that essentially every time some new comes that he built, he put it in, and yeah, he went also slowly into cyberpsychosis, and he took on a lot of people. He took on a lot of people. He took on Militech, who was also, I guess, one of the factions there, but also, getting betrayed by the Fixer and all. So that was, yeah, that was something. And then at the end, you meet, of course, he beat Militech, but also got this another new prototype on, which ruined it all for him. So yeah, that is how it goes usually for him. But yeah, at the end, everything went the cyberpunk way, and well, it ended up him being a legend, but also a dead legend at that. at the end, getting killed by Adam Smasher. Which, yeah, that's the last thing you see when you reach that top. You see, it's the end there. Also, kind of sad how Rebecca died. Like she was with him from the what kind of the start till the end, kind of, right? Like she came, you know, midway through, and he did his thing. So it was something. It was like seeing her, yeah, seeing her getting her brother killed right in front of her. Then also, over the years getting by, and also she got also the implants from or Maine. Getting the arms, which is pretty funny. It's like she had like noodle arms, and then she was an amazing shooter. At the same time, now she has big arms, and it's also still an amazing shooter. It's like what? So that's kind of fun. But also, she's a psychopath in its own. But also, she doesn't really go cyber psychosis or anything like that. She just, she's a whack from the get go. So that's pretty interesting to see her as I guess you could say, crazy, small, I guess, girl who is old. Yeah, that is Cyberpunk World, right? It's like the usual things, like. But yeah, she's probably my favorite character. Rebecca or Becca is my favorite character in Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Who would have thought? In the beginning, I was like, Lucy's gonna be my girl. Well, in the end, well, you know, it was a girl named Becca who stole the show. Who was with him till the end. After getting Goomba stomped from Adam Smasher, and which she went out in the blink of an eye, which was kind of tragic. But at the same time, it fits the world. It's like in the beginning, I was hoping, the story would end in a different way where he would not turn into what mine has become, into psychosis and all. But at the same time, you saw it coming. How everything went with him putting all these implants in, calling himself special, and I guess the boost, the confidence, I guess he got the ego boost he got from putting in the, the one implant from another legend, and he was compatible with it and had a huge tolerance to that. So that was, so yeah, that was quite interesting. So, Race? No, not really. I'm essentially, I know how the world of Cyberpunk work. It's essentially just that, right? Like the world is cruel. Night City, not really Arasaka is the one that takes you know is the doom of all. It's more like Night City, right? Night City is essentially the city's like everything's so glamorous, everything is cool and amazing, but then get to the point where you want to be at the top of the top. But at the end, well, you meet your own demise, either by your own hands or by another one's hands, just randomly, just, I guess, shotgunning you, or whatever it happens. Or you get, I guess, corporal locked by either Hunt down by Maxtech, or Arasaka sends in, Adam Smasher, who, well, that's where you usually end up if you go to the top, because that's how it always is, right? And I guess, also you will get, I guess, if you die a legend, you get also a name, I guess, a drink named after you. So, that's how it is, man. In Afterlife as well. In the bar, it's called Afterlife, right? And you get the drink there as well. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Characters were good. I wish we had like more than 10 episodes, like maybe 12, either 24. Okay, 24 would be fine. Like, if you want to develop each character and the world a bit more. And I think there's definitely, the world has a lot more that they can, spin around and get everything, going. Because that world, I mean, Cyberpunk in general, right? Night City has a huge, huge world that you can build up on, flesh out characters. Like every time you see something happen, something new gets born as well. It's like either a new legend pops up, or something happens over here, something there. Maybe another group gets taken down. Like all these things happen in Night City, and I think in general, I have a feeling, unless Studio Trigger or Netflix want to continue on the series of Cyberpunk, it will keep on growing because that, as we've seen, that anime in general was a big hit. We've seen like the surge and the game again after the the failed, not really the fail, more like the kind of terrible release. Okay, it was a terrible release, like bugs and everything, right? So now with the 1.6, they added all the things that I want. I think a lot of bug fixes, so essentially the game should be running fine from what I've heard. And also the police system will also get reworked, so that's that's for next year and with the expansion. So we'll see. We'll see if there's gonna be more of the more Cyberpunk shows. I think they're gonna be because it was such a huge hit, and as we've seen, you know, I've seen like the sales went up. People be playing like 100 plus K people playing Cyberpunk. I guess I don't know how the rankings are on Netflix. I don't know how it's overall, but that show was definitely highly regarded. So I would see Netflix holding onto that golden goose. Same with Studio Trigger. Studio Trigger did an amazing you know job at the show. Because think about it, they're perfect. That's a perfect studio for that. Like ramping out, starting slowly, art, everything, top notch, and then ramp up the story even faster and faster, right? And then essentially, well, you had to climax, like from episode to episode, you were on your edge of your seat, and you're gonna like, what's gonna happen now? And seeing all these, people along along the road, vanish one by one, or I guess two by one, or you just like get like as soon as you get attached to a character, they're gone. That's how Cyberpunk. It's like you get attached to a character and then boom, they're gone. Can't do anything anymore. It's like what? I just lost my brother, my friend. What's going on? What am I gonna do? Right. So yeah, as I said, um, no, I guess Rebecca, my girl. Sadly, she didn't make it. David also, I think, David had the possibility of turning tides by not going the route of going full cybernetic and all, but hey, he felt it, man. He succumbed to the cyber psychosis at the end, and yeah, Lucy. Well, Lucy, get to live at the end, which I think it's a bittersweet ending, right? Like she made it to the moon, of course. It's not a one-way trip. She has a lot more money. Like she can probably come back down. Maybe not to Night City. Maybe to another area or something like that. The world's so big. It's not like Night City is the only city in the world. So you know. But yeah, I would say overall, um, it has a lot of potential. Maybe more from another perspective. Maybe it's like Arasaka, like a corporate storyline or a Nomad storyline or whatever story you can do in the world of Cyberpunk and nightlife or Night City. So yeah, I'd say overall, give it a watch if you like Studio Trigger shows. I guess high, high action and story. I would say kind of deep storytelling, more like if you're into cyberpunk stuff in general, and also the care more like the art style on Studio Triggers, and then also the storytelling of the usual Studio Trigger shows. Then yeah, I think give it a shot for Cyberpunk. I won't over so hype you on a show like Cyberpunk Edgerunners because yes, if you overhype something, usually it will go downhill because, well, you expect something so good, it will end up in the worst possible way that you expect to be like the next coming of I don't know ReZero or something. It just come to mind where it's amazing story and all, but expect a good show, a good action heavy show, but with good characters and try to even if you try to not get to attach to characters, you will get attached to characters, and yeah, at the end you're gonna be maybe crying depending on how you are as a person. I didn't. I was more like kind of sad, like the feeling of you finished Anohana or finish up a great show or a great game or a great book. You're like this empty feeling of what am I gonna do now? Like I lost I lost my girl, I lost my boy, and the main heroine got out. I'm like, why can that not be a good ending for everyone in a way, right? So yeah, on to all those feelings. Give Cyberpunk Edgerunner a watch. You can find it on Netflix, or there are also plenty of other ways to do things. Yeah. So I guess you could say it's kind of a review, right? Like a spoiler review in a way. Overall, yeah. That's I guess the end of this review with me, MyoRU. Hello. So yeah, see you next time on another show.